So I'm going to ask coaches and the players, as well as the administration from the local schools to come up. Mr. Hudson. I'm Dr. Mark Sullivan, and I serve as superintendent of Birmingham City Schools. The idea for the Stop the Violence Classic football game, it originated with students, and most great ideas always start with students, don't they? But this was also supported by the coaching staff at both Ramsey and Parker High School, as well as supported by our school systems AD. And I see him in the back. Coach Pope, come on up, Coach. We have with us our principals, as well as Coach Warren at Parker High School and Coach Jackson at Ramsey High School. So I'm going to ask Coach Warren or Coach Jackson to come up and share the importance of this Stop the Violence event. Coach Jackson?
Thank you guys very much. This event is going to be very important. We talk to our guys daily just about the issues that they go through on a daily basis, and our kids they're suffering, they're upset, they get frustrated, and so we asked them, like, what can we do with our platform, and they all mentioned, hey, let's have a Stop the Violence Classic, and so I thought it was a great idea. I started making phone calls, and we reached out, and I think it's going to be very valuable to the city of Birmingham. There's a lot going on in Birmingham, but I'm just thankful that our kids came up with the idea, and we're going to do everything we can to help out in our community. That's the goal for all of our coaches, the players, and administration. So this time I want to introduce. I'm sorry, I want to let Coach speak real quick. My bad.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is something big between us and Ramsey. It's bigger than football. Dealing with kids around the city, and it's big right now with the violence. And I think together, us coming together for a classic, instead of the importance of this, is bigger than football. And to stop the violence, is affecting the kids that's in our high schools at a young age, and just let them know it's bigger than football and something we can change as a group. More resources for these kids outside of the violence they see every day. So us as adults, we have to be better and come together and see what we can do. And this is going to be big, starting right here in the Stop the Violence class.
I'm going to ask one of the students if they would come up.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I feel like this Stop the Violence Classic is very important to everybody in the city because violence is a big thing in Birmingham and around everywhere, and it's just bigger than football. And to show that we can come together in a stadium and be together around in the community is a very great thing. And I feel like that's going to change a lot.
Good morning again. I feel like Stop the Violence is very big, to be honest, because a year ago I lost my stepfather to violence, and I feel like this Stop the Violence game it'd be very good for the people around the city to come see that not only the kids but the parents and the family members can also come out and have a great time, watch a football game, and not have anything happen.
Thank you. We are extremely fortunate in the city of Birmingham to have a mayor who is forward-thinking and a mayor who has always, he was on the school board, and I met him when I was principal at Phillips, and he came up and he came into the building prior to him running for school board, and he met with the 7th grade math teacher. And what I found out later was that this was his teacher at Putnam Middle School. And you could tell at that time he was committed to the safety, security, the education of young people. And so we are extremely blessed and fortunate to have a mayor in Birmingham City Schools, mayor in the city of Birmingham, like Randall Wolf. And so I'm going to ask the mayor if he would come up and say a few words. Mr. Mayor.
Represent you. Hey, good morning, everybody. First, let me express my sincere appreciation for Dr. Mark Sullivan, Superintendent of Birmingham City Schools. Along with our two principals, you see here standing to his left and his right of Ramsey High School and Parker High School, Has been mentioned by both coaches as well as both of these student athletes. This is more than a football game. I want to express also my appreciation for the young people here. Dr. Sullivan has said it, but it's worth repeating. This is their idea. I think it's important as adults we take the time to pause and that we listen to young people when they have issues, when they have concerns. But I think equally important when they have ideas that as adults we should fully embrace. With that said, this Stop the Violence rally at this game I think is needed. It's refreshing, and it's good to see that this is led by our student athletes. Turns out a lot of things change, a lot of things don't change. I think one of the things that has not changed is that student athletes, even when I was in high school and I can remember, and I can pretty much appreciate that these two principals, these two coaches, as well as our superintendent can vouch for what I'm about to say. All of us looked up to our student athletes. Whether you played or not, student athletes were the people we looked up to. Student athletes were the people who made an impression on the entire student body. Student athletes were the people, how they dressed, what they talked about, where they went, where they hung out. That's what everybody else wanted to do. So the fact that our student athletes are leading what's happening this upcoming Thursday in this rivalry game, and it's centered around nonviolence. It's centered around stop the violence. It's centered around empowering our young people to be the voices and the faces and lead in stopping the violence in our community. I just want to say to both of these young men, to Malik and Tramel, thank you. I want to say to their team members on both teams, Park and Ramsey, thank you. And I want to say to all the students at Park and Ramsey, thank you for being not just students who want to learn every day, but thank you for leading in the community related to this Stop the Violence rally. So let's have a good game Thursday. I'm smart. You see my colors, they're neutral. But it's going to be exciting. And I look forward to supporting both teams. Again, grateful for everybody to be here. And with that, Dr. Sullivan, I guess I'm going to turn it back to you or Rick. What we're going to do, open it up? Dr. Sullivan it is, everybody. Oh, direct all questions to him.
Yes. Yes. So we'll open it up for any questions that you might have of either I or the coaches, the administrators, or more importantly, the students. Now, I know you have a question for one of the students. Yes, sir. So I was talking with Coach Jackson. Coach, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, sir. There has been a lot of organization going on. So there are going to be a number of organizations that are going to be located outside of the stadium. We're going to also have some mentors to come throughout the stadium. Before the game, we're going to have flags of the victims. And each victim, we're going to have the whole entire teams to run out. We're going to take a knee, and we're at halftime. We're going to show our support and for all the victims that we have in our city.
Any questions for our students?
In light of the violence at games around this weekend, are y'all making any changes to security in advance?
So we are very fortunate. The city of Birmingham provides security for our schools, so we have police officers. In addition to that, we have a local security force that's part of the Birmingham school system. We also require clear or mesh book bags to come into all of our games, and we have metal detectors at the front gates of our games. So we want to make sure that security is paramount. We want individuals to come out to the game, enjoy the game, sit down, and bring your family, eat a hot dog, and really experience what BCS athletics are in a safe and secure environment. Yes, sir.
If a coach and or player can talk about what you all hope the community, specifically young people, will take away from this event.
What do you think young people will take away from this?
I feel like everybody should just take away from this event, just coming together as people, as humans, to be able to watch a football game and cheer and have pride in your team. Just being together as a community, not taking so much conflict with each other. Just being together, being more as one.
like he said, sit back and have fun in a safe environment, and just tell them like, hey, it's more than violence out here in Birmingham. And with these kids putting on a good show and good programs, and there'll be a good show to watch. So hopefully this leads to more events for the violence, and we're just here to start it off.
Yes, yes.
Obviously, this was being planned months ago. The preparation for this is not just something that happened over the weekend, but with the recent events that occurred last Friday, events that occurred in Montgomery, how timely is this effort to bring people's attention to the effort and perhaps?
So let me answer your question this way. So we did have there have been a couple of events at some games across the state, but this is larger than that. You know, in Birmingham City Schools since January of 2022, we've lost 17 students to gun violence. And I want us to sit back and I want that to sink in for a second. If we lost 17 students in a single event, that would be a national and international news story. But we've lost 17 students over the course of a year and a half. And you know, it may run for a day and run for another day, and then it goes away. But these students, these coaches, they're impacted by that violence every day. The young man mentioned that his stepfather was killed due to violence. Both of these schools over the past few years have experienced students who have been killed, and it's larger than a game, and it's really about how we as a community can come together, learn how to solve problems that don't end in someone taking someone's life. And we need to make sure that we are listening, and what we're doing now, listening to what our students are saying, listening to what our children are saying, because really some of the, and I said this earlier, some of the best ideas that we can implement come from the minds of young people. Right. Any other questions?
No, it's a great
Lastly, you said student-led. What does it mean to see these students stepping up? What was your first reaction when you saw it?
So just pride. You know, I have been a principal for 14 years, and I have seen just the amazing students that we have in Birmingham City Schools. All our children need is an opportunity and a voice and a platform. And I like what Coach says. They're using their platform for good. You know, one of the things that I guess being a little bit older, when people talk about platforms, all of our kids have their Facebook, Instagram, and all of that. So they're using their platforms to really push out a positive message. And so how I feel proud, like a proud papa.
Thank you.
Thank you.